Put him back here, yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It is time for match number 2, live from Fort Wayne, Indiana, the 2023 Central Division kickoff event for the year. The Volleyball League of America is back, and it is the Battle of Chicago. The Chicago Icemen against the Chicago Sweed in Sweed's first match since being promoted to the VLA Tier 1 division. Really excited to get this one going and talk about this long-time crosstown rivalry. We'll introduce the starting lineups here in the house in Fort Wayne and get to first serve in just a minute. Thank you to all of our YouTube members for tuning in to watch this match. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Match number 2 of the Volleyball League of America 2023 season, and it is a crosstown rivalry, the battle for Chicago between the Chicago Icemen trainer to court 17. This one between the Chicago Icemen in blue and the Chicago Sweed in green in their first match in Volleyball League of America Tier 1. Introducing the starting lineups first for the Chicago Sweed in green and orange. A 6'1" setter from Lakeland University, number 5, Jordan Smith. A 6-foot outside hitter from Dominican University, number 2, Ethan Klosak. A 6-foot outside hitter from Lakeland University, number 11, Brett Kazmarek. A 6'6" opposite from Dominican University, number 1, George Coogan. A 7-foot middle blocker from Park University, number 3, Paul Bolanzik. A 6'6" middle blocker from McKendree University, number 22, Lucas Galifos. And a 6-foot libero from Dominican University, Eric Krizak. Sweed is coached by Tyler Boyce, managed by Jordan Smith. And in blue, the Chicago Icemen. A 6'1" setter from the Ohio State University, number 5, Sunil Thomas. A 6'6" outside hitter from Lindenwood University, number 4, Kyle Overby. A 6'3" outside hitter from Long Beach State University, number 7, Lewis Richard. A 6'9" opposite from Carthage College, number 13, Griffin Shields. A 6'7" middle blocker from Purdue University, number 16, Dave Hancock. A 6'8" middle blocker from Lindenwood University, number 22, Scott Sawicki. And a 5'11" libero from Quincy University, number 3, Colin Merck. The Icemen are managed by Tim Faulkner. There are the teams. This is the battle for Chicago. The Chicago Icemen, winners of 2 of the 3 Tier 1 championships in the history of the Volleyball League of America, a Founding 5 franchise against the young upstart crosstown rivals. The Chicago Sweed played in this event just last year, but as a Tier 2 franchise. They were invited to play up a division in this event last year, but a lot has changed since then. Sweed went to the Tier 2 championship last year, won that tournament, reached 50 cumulative points in the standings, and in doing so were offered promotion to VLA Tier 1, and here they are a year later, back in the same event, the same venue, and the same matchup, but everything has changed, with Sweed now playing in the top division of the Volleyball League of America. And they are not here for participation trophies. They are here to win. They are here to contend for the playoffs and are here to win a Tier 1 championship. Sweed in green receiving, Icemen in blue serving on the far side of your screen, and here we go. Immediate stuff block by Scott Sawicki of the Icemen, number 22 in light blue. And his first action of the year, finally back to full health. Sawicki barely played last season with various shoulder injuries, but there he is immediately with a block for the Icemen on the board first. Quick combination, repeat set to Klosak on the left side, dug amazingly by Colin Merck. And Krizak, his libero counterpart on the Swede side, couldn't make a similar play, so a nice 2-0 start for the Chicago Icemen. Lewis Richard, the outside hitter, serving on the far side, working that float serve in short on Klosak. Here's Coogan out of the back row, slowed down by a touch. Shields out of the back row for the Icemen, cross court. Now Kazmarek out of the back row, taking a rip and getting Sweed on the board. Coogan in transition for Sweed on the right side, dug nicely by Richard. Now Overby inside the block of Lucas Galifos, a new face for Sweed this year, and Overby puts it away. So if you're just tuning in for the day, you missed a heck of a match this morning where the Chicago Icemen went up 2-0 on the Indiana team Pineapple. Looked like they had set 3 in hand, looked like it was going to be a sweep. Pineapple stormed all the way back to win sets 3 and 4. So the Icemen just finished that match about an hour ago. Some of these guys, but not all of them, played significant minutes in that one. Another block in the middle for the Icemen. Big one there by Dave Hancock against Coogan on the left. But the Icemen here cycling in some new pieces. Sunil Thomas gets to start at setter. Griffin Shields at opposite. Lewis Richard, who we saw towards the end of that Pineapple match, starts at outside hitter, and Sawicki in the middle. But Hancock, Overby, and libero Colin Merck are in repeat action in back-to-back games. Here is Ethan Klosak, one of the great undersized players in the league. What a set that time by Thomas. And cross court by Kyle Overby. Overby looking so far like he's got the stamina to play 2 matches in a row, but obviously it is early on here in this best 3 out of 5 set match, where the sets 1 through 4 are to 25 points. And now our first look at Sunil Thomas from the service line, first team all VLA setter a season ago, and his ability to serve points. A huge part of that. Pretty good pass there by Kazmarek. Galifos in the middle, scoop by Merck. Thomas by the Icemen bench just barely runs out of room. And Sweed is out of that rotation. Keeping Sunil Thomas off the service line, if you're a Sweed fan, is going to be very important right here. A nice first ball side out by Jordan Smith and the boys in green. Nice reversal of flow right there. Back to Overby on the right side. He blasts that ball off the block and into my scorer's table here, or into our little makeshift broadcast booth. So this Sweed team in the offseason, like I said, they were promoted to VLA Tier 1 after winning last year's Tier 2 championship and reaching 50 points. They had the mission of building a full Tier 1 level roster, and they've done that with a lot of the guys that got them promoted, but a couple key additions. One of them, Paul Balanzik, nicknamed Tall Paul for good reason. A 7-footer in the middle, number 3 in green right there. And that ball underset to Coogan on the right side. He has to tip and misses it out of bounds. So an early set one advantage for the Icemen. I'm going to try not to call these two teams Chicago because they're both representing my home city. Overby back to serve for the Icemen in blue on the far side of your screen. Good pass there by longtime Swede player Brett Kazmarek. Pipe combination to Klosak is dug. Chopped down the line. Smith is there. Coogan in transition. Roll shot creates some miscommunication. Wow, that ball was so easy that Thomas and Overby had time to look at each other and decide whose ball it was going to be, and the answer was nobody's. That will be a kill on the stat sheet for George Coogan, the opposite out of Division III Dominican University near Chicago. Perfect pass there by Richard down the line. Hancock missed contact in the middle. Klosak is there. Coogan dug by Overby. Merkel take the second ball. Shields gets his feet all the way to the inside to take a swing at it. Now Kazmarek has a turn, and the roll shot to the middle of the court is good enough to score. Richard just barely too late to make the pancake play, so Sweed fighting back nicely after a slow start, back within 2. Undersized outside hitters right now, a storyline for Sweed. Both Ethan Klosak and Brett Kazmarek, both 6'0", as that swing right there by Hancock missed out of bounds on what would have been a ridiculous wrist-away angle. And there is the presence of tall Paul Balanzik, number 3 in green, just being there. Made Hancock think a little too hard about that swing. Ace serve, George Coogan. Wow, the float service ace right through Overby's hands. And with the snap of our fingers, we're tied up at 7. These two teams have been playing against each other for a very long time, but the Chicago Icemen owned this crosstown rivalry until the Central Division Cup in the VLA last year. Swede won the quarterfinal match there. That is a massive block by Paul Balanzik. Swede takes the lead emphatically, and another thing you can always expect from Tall Paul is the fire, one of the most energetic players you'll see in the league this year. But once Swede got that first ever win over the Icemen in a sweep in the Central Division Cup quarterfinal, they have not looked back. They think they belong in this rivalry, and sure enough, look at this run that Swede is on. Another ace on the serve of George Coogan. What a turnaround. This might be a 5-0 run by Sweed, if I'm not mistaken. Richard slowed down by a nice block by Jordan Smith. Beautiful dig by Klosak. Now Kazmarek cross court and down. Sweed is bringing the energy here early, and that's one of the things that I would say they identify as in terms of their team play style. High energy and tremendous effort on defense. Sweed is an outstanding defensive team. And the run ends right there on the Coogan service error, but an outstanding response to an early Icemen run. Kazmarek gets the inside ball on the outside, tries to swipe it off the edge, and no touch called off Griffin Shields, I believe correctly so. So the Icemen back within 1. Kazmarek again being the serving target. Here's Coogan out of the back row. Again, an underset ball from Smith. A little bit too low for Coogan to catch up with, and he misses it into the net. Coogan, really dynamic, high contact point. Needs that ball a little higher rather than faster. And tied up here at 10 after a couple Swede errors. Hancock continuing to serve. Coogan out of the back row this time. Dug by Hancock, but back to Swede as a free ball. Tall Paul in the middle, wants the bench to give it to him. That's the kind of energy I'm talking about. Brett Kazmarek here from the service line I think it's safe to consider him a founding member of this Sweed team. Him, Jordan Smith, guys like Tim Robbins, even like Kyle Krogstad, the old Lakeland University crew from Wisconsin that started this Sweed team, and here they are on the Tier 1 level. That would have been a crazy scramble from Klosak. He slipped and tried to send that ball over the net but missed it out of bounds, so we're tied up at 11. To give us the first look at Griffin Shields from the service line. Outstanding opposite player for the Chicago Icemen, number 13 in blue, out of Division III Carthage College in southeastern Wisconsin. Here is Bolanczyk from the service line against Chicago's rotation force. Neil Thomas, the front court setter, along with Sawicki and Lewis Richard. There is Richard, cross court off the touch of Smith, and Bolanczyk in the right spot. Couldn't quite make the defensive play. At this event just last year, the Chicago Icemen in the very same format walked out of here 4-0 with only 1 point dropped on a 5-set win last year. So far on the same pace. They're trying to keep up that perfect record. That swing by Overby way inside against 3 blockers, looking for fingertips and isn't going to find him. Not a bad swing, though, by any means, especially in not a system situation. Setter Jordan Smith, always a consistent float server, an amazing defender, and that was a ridiculous rescue by Sunil Thomas, able to get 2 hands on that ball and feed it back to Griffin Shields, the right side out of the back row. And I mentioned in the earlier match between the Icemen and Team Pineapple how important it is, the VLA level, to have a legitimate right side attacking presence in all 6 rotations, and both of these teams do. Coogan and Shields, both very dynamic out of that back court, and that ball's called in bounds. Very, very close, but I think the right call. That ball right on the baseline. And the ace serves from Scott Sawicki. Sawicki, a lethal server for sure. Sometimes lethal to his own team. There's a play a couple years ago in New York that I remember where a ball almost basically went into orbit. And Sawicki's got ace potential. That ball touched by Hancock. Going to have to be sent over as a free ball. Thomas to Overby, chopped down the line. Kazmarek is there. Galifos loses the joust, but a good opportunity here for Sweed in transition. Pipe combination. Kazmarek out of position 6, flies in out of the backcourt and puts it away. Kind of a weird scramble play there, and Sweed walks away with it. They are a team, I mentioned their defensive ability and just pure hustle. The sort of team that thrives in those weird, chaotic situations. More often than not, they end up winning those rallies. Crushed to the floor in the middle by Dave Hancock. What a set that time by Thomas. Here is Thomas from the service line. Pretty good pass there by Klosak to fight it off. Kazmarek finds some space down the line. Somehow accelerates and puts it away. That's a pretty cool swing right there from number 11 in green. Oh, beautiful play by Shields, waiting. The patience there on the left side to roll that one over the triple block and down. Transition opportunity here for the Icemen. Shields against 2 blockers, through the block and down. Big break point right there from the Icemen. Good platform set there from libero Colin Merck. Shields takes out the trash. Icemen lead by 2. Beautiful pass by Kazmarek. Pipe combination again. Klosak out of the back row. Deflected by the block on its way out of bounds. And one thing I absolutely love about this Sweed offense is how they prioritize the BIC. The back row quick, or that pipe combination play where the outside hitter comes and attacks at a middle back. They really, two undersized attackers, Klosak and Kazmarek, both not above 6 feet tall. But the mismatch in numbers and the separation that they're able to create against a bigger block really helps. And there is the pipe combination. Run right back at him. Overby this time. Blast that one out of the back row. Oh, what a scoop. That ball somehow kept alive. Free ball here for Sweed. Pipe combination again. Thomas is there defensively. Ooh, Kazmarek slipped a little bit in his transition. Produces a Chicago free ball. Thomas to Shields. Nice block touch to slow it down. Now Coogan out of the back row off the block and into the antenna. Really good rally there by Sweed. When the Icemen had a couple chances on offense in transition to take that point. An excellent block touch there by Brett Kazmarek kept the point alive. And Sweed hanging around within 1, 17-18 here. Perfect pass by Overby. Actually, maybe a tiny bit too tight. Thomas deals with it. Shields is dug. Klosak tipped over the top and down. Overby not expecting his Icemen teammate blockers to pull their hands away and leave that open space. And now we are tied, 18 apiece. Rotation 3 receive here for Chicago. 3 front court attacking options plus the pipe. Sawicki in the middle. Connection not perfect. Dug by Krizak, but right on the net. Back to Sweed. Klosak chops it over. Richard crusts down the line. Somehow finds some space between Smith's outside hand and the antenna to put it away and retake the lead. Here's Griffin Shields. Chicago needs a break point somewhere to get 2 points clear. Klosak tipped out of the back row. Good play by Shields. This could be it right here. Richard again. High flat off the block and out of bounds, plus a net violation. You can see there, Lewis Richard, he was literally aiming for the ceiling as he spiked that ball. He wanted to hit that ball upwards and only get the deflection off the block, and that's exactly what he got. Smart shot by the Long Beach State product. And now here's the 2-point lead for the Icemen. 20-18. Sweed needs side out. Coogan out of the back row. Stuffed by Richard. Off of Coogan on its way out of bounds, and now 21-18. Sweed needs timeout as they're giving up a tiny bit of a run here late in the first set. That's it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Big serve out of the timeout here coming from Griffin Shields. Icemen lead by 3. Sweed needs side out. Tough pass there. Klosak will take an out-of-system swing. Nice recycle. Really good high shot right there by Ethan Klosak. Maybe the best pound-for-pound player in the league, given his height and his dynamic ability at the outside hitter spot. But another guy who has a case for that is this guy, Jake Braceros, number 13 in green, in as a service sub. 5'10", but equally ridiculous in how dynamic he is. He's in to serve and play some defense for Tall Paul. Good float service pressure there. Lewis Richard is there on the overpass, but what a stuff block by Klosak. Griffin Shields is put down, and Sweed with another point to try and make a late comeback here in the first set, and that one with authority. What a block by Klosak on Shields. 1 point Sweed deficit now. Good float serving by Braceros. Coogan down the line, not a great touch against that triple block deflection, but a beautiful rundown by Kazmarek. Free ball for the Icemen. Richard again down the line. There's Coogan with the perfect dig. Oh, no, nothing called there. I thought for sure that Richard reached over the net. Tip play, and that'll be 4 contacts against Sweed. I think Jordan Smith might have a case, and he might go talk to the up official about this, that as Smith went to go try and set that ball, Richard may have reached over and interfered with his opportunity to do so. But no call made. We played on. Icemen ended up taking the point. It's 22-20, and Lewis Richard back to serve. Smith here in the front court. One more rotation. Klosak through the block of Thomas and down. Sawicki, nice angle carved out of the middle. That is a really difficult shot to come off the right sideline, moving to your left and chop the ball back to your right like that against your body's momentum. Nice rip there by number 22 in blue. Icemen clinging to a 2-point lead here late in the first, 23-21. Swede needs side out perfection from this point on. Sawicki, a dangerous server, but he buries that one into the net that time, and now Klosak will have a chance to search for a break point from the service line. Remember, these sets, first 4 sets in our VLA matches played to 25, must win by 2. Perfect pass there by Overby. Crushed down the line. What an awesome first ball side out play. Kyle Overby on the give and go. Perfect pass and brilliant arm. High contact across the body and an untouched kill down the line. Can't do it much better than that. That's 2 first-team all-VLA guys from a season ago. Overby and Thomas going to work. And now set point for the Icemen. Thomas back to serve. Very, very close. Eric Krizak, the excellent libero for Swede, steps into the seam, lets it go out of bounds. And now another service sub for Swede to try and fight off this Chicago set point. Scott McNerney, the backup libero, but in the normal colored green jersey here, number 4 in green. Out of IPFW guy, homecoming for him, serving on Chicago Icemen set point. Overby off the block of Kazmarek and down. And that will do it by the narrowest of margins. The Chicago Icemen use a late run to squeak out that first set. In the battle for Chicago, the Icemen take the first, 25-23. So Icemen draw first blood in the crosstown rivalry. A lot more volleyball left to play. We'll be back in just a few minutes with set number 2. Don't go anywhere. So what you do, look at this. Go back, set 2.
Oh, beautiful.
That's all the paper there.
My
tells
bad,
you how to
being
do
off
it.
at first. I didn't even see how my I thought it was on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome inside my little pop-up broadcast booth. Rob St. Clair here, live from Fort Wayne. Amazing event, the MLK Challenge. Great to be back for the third year in a row with the court as part of this great juniors event that kind of kicks off the second half of the club season. First event of the regular season, obviously, for us here at the Volleyball League of America, and these two Chicago teams doing it justice so far. Icemen so far trying to keep their level of energy high in a back-to-back after playing a 5-setter against Team Pineapple this morning. And Sweed trying to prove they really belong here on the Tier 1 level in their first opportunity to do so. So I love this particular battle. I'm a Chicago guy. I know these teams. I know these players well, and I know that they know each other just as well. Expect a lot of adjustments. Expect a lot of high-level stuff. Looks like set number 2 ready to go. Do I see any lineup changes? No, I don't, and I'm not surprised. So these teams will go right back at it. Let's get ready for set number 2. Set number 2 underway with Sweed serving on the far side of your screen. Nice dig there by Sweed against Sawicki. Klosak is dug by Richard. Overby runs it down, but this will be a Sweed free ball. Galifos in the middle. His first attack attempt blocked by Sawicki, but a net violation against the Icemen block. Lewis Richard touched the net that time. Perfect pass there by Richard. Sawicki somehow through the block of Klosak, who did a nice job helping with the middle. But that attack by Sawicki just too good. Rotation 1 receive here for Sweed. Coogan and Klosak switched on the wings. Klosak cross court dug nicely by Shields. Overby in transition against 3 blockers. High off the fingertips and out of play. Absolutely textbook out of system transition volleyball for the Chicago Icemen. Beautifully done by Overby. Richard serving again. You can see how far up in the court the Swede receivers are, expecting a short serve. There it is. Kazmarek is there. Coogan chopped cross court. Merck is there. Overby again in transition. Chopped down the line, dug by Smith. Coogan sends it over. Nice reach by Richard. Overby again off the block of Galifos' inside hand and out of play. 2 nice transition kills, the last 2 points for Kyle Overby. And 2 break points for the Iceman against Swede's rotation 1 receive. Galifos in the middle looking for fingertips and no touch by Sawicki. So a really nice rotation 1 trap engineered here by the Icemen. Smart, short float serving by Lewis Richard, forcing the Swede offense to be a little bit uncomfortable, and the Icemen have run it down their throats in transition here for a couple points in a row. That ball missed out of bounds again, I believe, by Coogan, just barely long. The run continues. No timeout yet from Swede coach Tyler Boyce. I'm looking at him on the sideline. He's going to let at least 1 more point go by. Galifos has to pass that ball. Coogan again is shut down by Scott Sawicki. This is such smart volleyball by the Chicago Icemen. Just setting up this rotation 1 trap and a substitution for Swede. Big Mike Boduk, number 23 in green. 6'9" middle blocker out of Loyola, Chicago, in for Lucas Galifos. Overby with a gigantic stuff block on the inside set against Klosak. Nowhere to go, and now a Swede timeout. Maybe a couple points too late if you ask me. Trailing 7-1 here in the second set. Lewis Richard doing a great job serving. All momentum with the Icemen right now. Can the run continue out of the timeout here? Kazmarek on the pipe combination missed it out of bounds. That was the best offensive look Swedes had this entire run, but just barely wide. The run continues. Wow, this thing is really snowballing, this run that Lewis Richard is on serving. There's the pipe again. Kazmarek missed it out of bounds twice in a row. This is remarkable. Smart volleyball here from the Icemen throughout. This is exactly what they need to make Sweed just the tiniest bit uncomfortable in this rotation. And obviously we've seen the dividends. Let's see if they can take a swing in transition here. Klosak, sharp cross court, dug by Thomas. Sawicki recycled. Oh, never mind. That ball deemed to have not touched the block. 4 contacts is the call. Icemen disagree, and I think our officials are actually going to talk about this. This might end up being a replay. We'll see. So often when you see that ball hit into the block, like if it touches, if you think it touches only the tape, it very, very often catches a piece of the block as well. And sure enough, I think the call is going to be replay. So our down official, Luis Ventura, saw what I saw in real time. That ball did in fact touch the block, so no point awarded, still 9 serving 1. And still Icemen serving with Lewis Richard. Boduk is stuffed straight down. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe this run that Lewis Richard is on right now. Great move there by Sawicki, and Mike Boduk, who won a VLA championship with the Chicago Icemen in 2021, is getting bottled up by his former team right now since entering the match a few points ago. Coogan, that ball touched by Thomas, and the run is finally over. Wow. Amazing work by the Chicago Icemen in that run. And now at 10-2, a comfortable lead to play with for the rest of this second set. Swede's going to have to really go after it from the service line for here on out, and there's the error right there by Klosak. Nice rip there by Kazmarek, high off the block of Hancock and out of bounds. Hancock just a split second late in pressing his hands over the net, but he was certainly there. Crushed down the line right there by Overby. Man, look at that defensive setup by Sweed. They're completely selling out to take Overby's cross court away. Even Smith, the line defender, is nowhere to be found. He was inside for the off speed. There was nobody defending down the line right there. I'm not sure if that's intentional or a breakdown. Here is Thomas from the service line. Lucky shot there by Kazmarek off the block of Shields and out of bounds. Sweed will certainly take it. Nice high rip right there by Griffin Shields against the triple block. Gets the deflection and might have caught a piece of the baseline as well. Serving 4. I gotta believe this is a green light serving rotation for Overby here. And, oh, almost an ace serve. Amazing rescue by Smith, and Coogan puts it away. Wow, heck of a hustle play by Jordan Smith, running down by the, kind of where the down official's standing by the scorer's table. Had just enough room. Not only did he bring it back, but a hittable ball for George Coogan. So now Kazmarek's turn to serve. Sweed got a mountain to climb to get back into this set after that early rotation 1 run. Good dig there. Klosak, high off the hands. Merck is there. Shields crush cross court inside the one-on-one. Good move by Klosak, but with only one blocker there, very little you can do to stop the 6'9", number 13 in light blue, Griffin Shields. Oh, nice scoop by Hancock against Belanczyk. Overby has enough room by the Icemen bench. Free ball here for Sweed. Oh, setter dump by Smith, but Thomas is there. Nice read. Smith again. Belanczyk slowed down. Thomas is there. Richard can have a swing, and he's stuffed by Belanczyk. Okay. Nice all-around high-level volleyball there. A couple great defensive plays by the Icemen, but they always produced Swede free balls, and ultimately they put Chicago, or the Icemen that is, in a tough enough situation where Belanczyk was able to come up with a stuff block. Here he is back to serve. Perfect pass by Richard. Maybe a little bit tight for what Thomas was expecting, but the tip down the line by Shields is good enough to score, especially with no libero on the court for Swede in that rotation. Sawicki flashes the pause to set that ball to Richard, who rips it inside three blockers. And the Icemen lead is 10. I mentioned early on, Swede, a very high-energy team. You wouldn't be able to tell it right now. They've been completely demoralized by that 8 or 9 point Icemen run early in this set when Swede was trapped in rotation one receive. That ball missed contact off the right hand of Griffin Shields. Swede needs service points, and I'm not sure right now where they're going to be able to produce them from. Richard slowed down nicely by Coogan. Here's a transition opportunity for Swede. Thomas is there defensively cross court. Ripped out of the back row by Shields off of Smith and out of play again. I mean, I know their name is Icemen, but this Chicago Icemen team just exudes this cool confidence. It's just got to be very difficult to play against a team that just doesn't have any weaknesses like this. Here's a free ball right on cue. Sawicki on the give and go is Doug. Klosak is stuffed straight down. Sawicki again with Overby, his collegiate teammate at Lindenwood there as well. And the Icemen lead is 11. I think it's pretty safe to say that this set is over. Swede needs to do something to create momentum towards the third. And here they are receiving in that same terrible rotation again as we saw early on in the set. Nice dig down the line by Merck. Overby is shut down by Klosak. Okay. That will certainly help. Ethan Klosak blocking way above his roster size at only 6 feet tall. Probably going to be too little too late here in the second set for Swede. But we saw the same thing this morning when the Icemen went up 2-0 on Team Pineapple, ended up going all the way to 5. A lot more volleyball left to play in this match. Nice rip by Sawicki, pushed all the way to the outside. Kazmarek goes for a crazy sharp cross-court angle off the tape and missed out of bounds. Good block positioning there by the Icemen to force the issue. And Sawicki will continue to serve. Boduk slowed down nicely in the middle by Hancock, right on the net. But Swede wins the joust and it falls on the Icemen's side. That ball spatched out of bounds by Klosak. 21-9 now the score. Excuse me, that was Boduk on the service error. Nice first ball side out run right there by Sweed. Excellent reception against Sunil Thomas and able to feed the middle. Bolanczyk puts it away. Perfect pass again. Hancock rejected one-on-one by Bolanczyk. Nice fronting move by Tall Paul right there. Staying in front of Hancock on that 31 set, getting his hands over fast. Nice play by the big man. Shields straight over the top of the block and actually just barely fails to tag the baseline. I thought that looked perfect, but just out of bounds long. So 2 break points in a row here for Sweed on the serve at George Coogan. See if they can create some momentum out of this. Pass there by Hancock off the tape. Shields against the one-on-one. Slowed down nicely by Smith, but the defense for Sweed not able to run it down. Overpass forced here by Overby. Slapped out by Richard. Sweed, though, has a chance in transition. Coogan dug really nicely. But put to the floor by Bolanczyk. Every inch of that 7-foot size. Ace serve, Brett Kazmarek right into the seam. Ball came literally right at me. I had to fish it out back here in the broadcast booth. Good serving from Kazmarek. Sweed is generating a little bit of momentum here. Hancock, what a shot crossbody. That is an awesome body contortion play. Spin 180 degrees in the air like that. 23-14, the Icemen lead. Close sack down the line. Good looking shot, but missed just out of bounds long. Nice dodge by Sunil Thomas, and that'll bring up set point Chicago Icemen. 10 of them. 10 chances to win the set. 24-14, excuse me. Hancock with the honors. And that looked like a foot fault. So 1 set point saved by Sweed, but I think it's safe to say this second set is just a formality at this point. Like I said, though, Sweed has generated a bit of momentum. They've blocked a couple balls, had the ace by Kazmarek a few points ago. See if they can build on this in the third. That floater by Bolanczyk missed out of bounds, and that will do it. So in a very different story from set number 1, the Chicago Icemen jump out to a huge lead early, serving against Swede's rotation 1 receive, and they never looked back. 25-15, the set 2 score, and the Icemen lead the crosstown battle for Chicago 2-0. So, does Sweed have some answers? Team Pineapple did this morning in this very same situation. Icemen led 2-0, and Team Pineapple came all the way back to force 5. Can Sweed do the same? We'll find out as set number 3 gets underway in just a minute. Stick around here on the VLA YouTube channel. All right, ladies and gentlemen. 2 sets in the books. Icemen lead 2-0. Hopefully we get a little more volleyball to watch up in here. But in the break, hey, Grant Coker. Grant, wave to the crowd. Come on out. Grant's got some giveaways for the people. He's got some awesome yellow Mikasa volleyball keychains. So Grant's going to kind of run around in the lap. If you want one of these keychains, make some noise. He'll toss it to you. Yeah, there they are. If you want a keychain, make some noise. That's more like it. Hey, Grant, I got some more. Come on, get a reload. Oh my gosh. Couple more left. Couple more left. All right, got some giveaways going on to the crowd here in Fort Wayne. Good crowd around Feature Court right now. This is part of a big juniors event with the MLK Challenge going on. These junior players really got a treat to watch guys play at this high of a level, up close and personal. And we want to reward them for watching us with some free giveaways. So shout outs to Mikasa, gave away some little yellow Mikasa volleyball keychains just now. Set number 3 ready to go in the battle for Chicago. The Chicago Icemen lead the Chicago Sweed 2-0. Close first one, not close second one. And Sweed looking for some answers to extend this match in the third. Underway in the third set with a nice kill by George Coogan on the right side for Sweed, off the block and out of bounds. If there's one team I could expect to have a nice little mental reset in a set change and come back as if it's 0-0, which it is, it would be Sweed. Very mentally strong team. Shields crushed out of the back row. Good block touch. Klosak is there. Coogan can have a swing. Dug by Richard. Richard on the pipe combination, wrist away, just missed it out of bounds. That was a good looking play, but about one tile too far wide. Beautiful run right there. Sawicki in the middle gets the Icemen on the board here in the third. Nice move by Klosak to shift to his right to pass that ball. Kazmarek challenges the triple block, and he's rejected by Overby. Coming over from that left side blocker position to complete the triple. Overby gets credit for the block that time. We go fix the camera tilt 1 second. We love this baseline camera angle so much here at the Volleyball League of America. We know that it's the best way to watch the game, but unfortunately the camera very much in the line of fire with volleyballs. Oh, ace serve right there. Sunil Thomas with a lucky break off the tape and down. Just like he drew it up, I'm sure. Another one off the tape. Kazmarek is there this time. Klosak out of the back row, dug nicely by Thomas. Tipped down the line by Kazmarek. Merkel set this ball. Shields straight over the block. What a dig by Klosak. Oh, did he find the court there? Oh, barely missed out of bounds long. Icemen take the point. That would have been an amazing individual play by Ethan Klosak, but not quite to be. Here's Thomas again. And Sweed back within one now after that service error. Nice put away there by Hancock in front of Coogan to extend back to a 2-point Icemen lead. Overby back to serve. Ace serve. Kyle Overby rips it into the seam. Krisak stepped into the seam to try and pass that ball, but too much heat from first team all VLA outside hitter Kyle Overby a season ago. Ball may have been going out of bounds. Passed perfectly by Krisak anyway. Lucas Galifos back in the middle on the slide is blocked and can't be covered. Nice reaction there by Lewis Richard. I mean, we don't see the slide in men's volleyball all that much, and Richard read that like a book. Now, he does coach the women's team at Northwestern. He probably sees slides a lot more than most. Who knows, maybe that helped him be ready for that one. And another ball slaps my camera. The ball missed out of bounds by Overby. I'll be right back after fixing that. All right, camera's good to go. Back to action. Hancock for the Icemen leading 9-6 back to serve. Short serve again, working on Kazmarek. Coogan out of the back row. Ripped down the line and right on the baseline. Really like both of these opposite players a lot, Griffin Shields and George Coogan. Big, dynamic bangers. Front and back court scoring threats. And Shields beats the block of Belancic that time. That ball down on the Swede side. 3-point Icemen lead once again. Kazmarek blocked by Sawicki out of the back row. What a read by number 22 in blue. Just brilliant work by Sawicki, diving back to his left. And now we got a Sweed substitution. Jake Braceros, backup outside hitter, in for George Coogan. Only here for rotation 1 so they can have a comfortable attacker on the left side of the court. We saw this weakness in the second set. Let's see if it pays off right here. Klosak on the right, off the block of Richard and out of bounds. So Sweed gets out of that rotation. I believe Coogan will come right back in, and yes, he will. Richard back to serve, has had a lot of success serving short. There it is, Klosak with a perfect pass. Bolanzik scooped by Merck somehow, but that's not going to be run down. Man, Paul Bolanzik is the most energetic dude in this gym. He just wants his sideline to just scream at him anytime he scores a point. I absolutely love that. Here he is back to serve. Good move by Overby to let that serve drift out of bounds. 4-point Icemen lead. Teams trading service errors in the third, but still the pressure all on Sweed to make this comeback down 3 and 2-0. Shields out of the back row. What an angle. That is amazing. Brilliant shot by Griffin Shields. Keeping his feet behind that 10-foot line, drifting to the outside, and against his body's momentum, finding a cross-court angle like that. That's amazing stuff. Such a pro. Griffin Shields played in A1 Germany just a couple years ago before coming back stateside full-time, and you can see that professional quality. Another service error, this time by Thomas Short. Kazmarek going for the float serve this time. Don't know if I really understand that choice. You're down 2-0. You're down 11-14, now 15. You've had success jump serving. And not only do you choose not to serve aggressively, you still make an error. Well, I have to ask Coach Tyler Boyce about that one. Speaking of serving aggressively, awesome serve by Overby. Even better pass by Eric Krizak and Ethan Klosak off the block and out of bounds. I think that's Sweet's point. I think that the Icemen think that ball touched Klosak on its way out of bounds. I don't think it did. I thought that was a brilliant wipe by number 2 in green. Not an easy situation. He dealt with it nicely. Here is Lucas Galifos, a new face for the Swede team. Middle blocker Adam McKendry. Crushed down the line by Richard, making that one look awfully easy. And Sweed gets a break that time with a stray volleyball coming on the court from the juniors court next to us. That was a tricky coverage situation, but we will replay the point, 16-12. Nice defensive positioning there by Overby. Shields in transition, blocked by Bolanzik, but covered. Kazmarek out of the pipe. Nice stab by Hancock, the defender. Ooh, Richard tried to go very sharp cross court. Didn't have the angle over the net inside the blockers. Sweed back within 3. Overpass by Sawicki, and that'll be a double contact after the put-away attempt by Belanzik. Sweed back within 2. Energy level still relatively low in this one, but absolutely anybody's game. Smith, the Swede captain, that float serve gets away from him a little bit. Ball may have been going out of bounds. Passed by Krizak. Coogan can have a swing. Merck is there defensively. Richard high into the hands, dug by Smith. Coogan chopped over the top, tried to get the fingers of Thomas, but it went right over him and out of bounds. So the Icemen lead is back up to 4, with Griffin Shields trying to extend from the service line and finish this thing out in a sweep. If the Icemen learned anything from this morning, it's that if you're up 2-0, you've got a lead in the third. The match is not over yet. Team Pineapple proved that. Kazmarek out of the back row. Another amazing read by Sawicki to block that ball, dive into his left, and it can't be covered. This Icemen team has adjusted extremely well to the Swede offense. They're in the right spots with their block and defense. And at 19-14, Swede needs timeout. Can the Icemen learn from their mistakes from this morning and capitalize on this third set lead to sweep this match? Cost them a point against Team Pineapple. I don't think they're going to make that same mistake again. Good block there by Sawicki. That pancake play was made, but not this time. Scott Sawicki dominating the blocking area of the game right now, and another rotation one-trap Swede with Coogan on the left, Klosak on the right, really struggling to get out of this rotation. Good pass there by Krizak. Klosak down the line. Merck stabs at it, but Shields chasing down towards his bench just runs out of room. Here's Klosak to serve. No reason not to go after this. Thomas, the front court setter. Tough pass by Overby. Shields will have an out-of-system swing. Somehow finds a tiny bit of space through the block. That might have gone right between Kazmarek's arms. And Shields with yet another kill. He has been outstanding to start the season here for the Icemen. Good block by Overby, but the coverage is there. Belanzik in the middle, blocked and covered again. And a ball handling mistake that time by Kazmarek gives it right to Overby for the easiest overpass tap down probably of his career. And that's saying something. So now 22-15, Icemen closing in on the sweep. Nice dig by Richard. Overby again, high flat. Nice dig by Klosak. Now Kazmarek out of system, rolls it over, smartly pulled away by the Icemen block. Basically a free ball here for Swede. Gotta have this. Klosak out of the back row. And a diving Richard can't quite make the second touch. So Swede does put it away with Klosak out of the back row. And a substitution in here, Chris Bulava, number 10 in green out of Purdue University. My longtime teammate in college, in to serve and play some defense. I expect him to start the later match this afternoon by Sweed against Team Pineapple. Probably started outside hitter. Here he gets some service action. Jump spinner there, looking for the sideline, misses out of bounds. And Bulava will go back to the bench. Icemen now 2 points away. Looks like Sawicki will be the server. Wouldn't be at all surprised if Scott ripped 2 aces to win the match right here. 23-16. Let's see what he's got. Good pass by Klosak. Ooh, no lift called. Good self-coverage there by Kazmarek. Free ball for the Icemen. Shields crushed out of the back row again. What a dig by Smith. Hancock. Smith is there again. Richard is there. Overpass forced. Klosak out of the back row. Hancock is there, and it falls on the Icemen's side. Jordan Smith playing some outstanding defense, and Kazmarek covering his own block earlier was huge for Sweed surviving that long rally. So 17-23 now. Whoa, what a bomb by Hancock right into the chest of Krizak, who, to his credit, did in fact dig that ball, but it couldn't be kept alive, and that will bring up match points Icemen. We build this up as a huge crosstown battle, big rivalry, lot on the line. Swede's first match in Tier 1. It's kind of been anything but since that really competitive first set. Thomas serving for the match. Good pass by Klosak. Klosak out of the back row again. Crossbody, missed it out of bounds. No touches called, and that will do it. Wow, what a convincing win. Wait a minute. Maybe not yet. I think there might be a touch called. No, excuse me, a net violation is the call. Net violation against the Icemen block, so it's not over yet. Sweet staying alive, 18-24 now. Kazmarek to serve. Sorry about that confusion. Overby now for the match. Cross court dug by Coogan, but now a net violation against the Sweed block, and that will put a period on this one. The Chicago Icemen convincingly dispatch their crosstown rivals. Icemen defeat Sweed 3-0, 25-23, 25-15, 25-18 in the third in just about an hour and 10 minutes. That one is anything but this morning's barn burner that went the distance. Convincing win by the Icemen to walk away from this first day of the season undefeated. Sweed will be back. Their day is not over. They play in about an hour and 45 minutes, 4 p.m. Eastern time against Team Pineapple. Both of those teams looking for their first win of the year. The Icemen are done for the day, 2-0 and 5 points, almost perfect there. And they'll be back tomorrow for both rematches against Sweed and Team Pineapple. So before we get out of here for this match, I will grab one of the victorious Icemen players, and we'll hear their thoughts on going undefeated today, and then we'll kill the stream for now and come back for this afternoon's match of Team Pineapple versus Sweed at 4 p.m. Let me go grab one of the guys to interview. Come take a seat, my friend. Let's get... All right, ladies and gentlemen. There's the camera. Perfect. Kyle Overby here. 2 matches in the books. You played every point of both of them. 2 wins. How are you feeling?
Exhausted, but happy. We really weathered the storm. We fought through a couple tough sets there, and we came out on top. So take it into tomorrow.
Tell me about the run to start the second set just now against Sweed when you had them trapped in rotation 1. What was the conversation around that? How did you identify that weakness with Lewis being so effective short serving?
Yeah, so what we wanted to do is serve short there, take that outside out, and really they were pretty clustered in the front there. So we tried to really focus on that and really get them pushed that way, and then we can move our block that way and really control where they were playing the ball.
Did it feel to you like the same as it did to me, where after that run happened, like Sweed, who's normally, I mean, you know this, really a high-energy team, it didn't really ever seem like they recovered from that?
Yeah, no, that definitely took the wind out of their sails. But they came back and they put on a good match or a good set in the third set there too to battle back after that second set.
So, and as we were walking over here, you gave your collegiate teammate and one of your best buds, Scott Sawicki, a ton of credit. Good to see him healthy. How well did he block the ball just now?
He was everywhere. He was getting touches on everything. He was closing blocks. It was incredible. It was actually what we were just talking about in the huddle there too. Wanted to give a big shout out to him on just doing his job and being a stud.
You got Brandon Poindexter watching in the chat. You got a bunch of people watching. So a day like this is such a grind where you got a back-to-back and then coming back tomorrow playing the same teams again. How do you approach that now with a little bit of data?
Yeah, so what we want to do is especially stretch, cool down, make sure our bodies are healthy for tomorrow and come back just as strong tomorrow. We might see some different lineups, so what we really want to do is control our side. You know, if we can control the pace of the game, we can control the match and really take it over. We've got some big bodies out there.
Yeah, you sure do. And I was talking to Cox after the last game that you guys won this morning about how kind of the format in the VLA encourages teams to have depth and to be able to use every guy on the bench and keep their level high. And he was talking about just guys knowing their roles and being so prepared to do their jobs in this Icemen team. And it seems to me like that's exactly what's going on. Do you agree?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, everyone's got their jobs and they know what they need to do. And especially in that match, we saw that everyone really controlled and did what they, do what you can do, and everyone else around you will control the game.
How, if you're okay talking about this, how are you personally feeling? Because I see this little guy. Can you tell the people a little bit about what's been going on with you? You don't need to overshare, but whatever you're comfortable with.
No, definitely. So we had a long summer this year. We actually had a stroke in June, and then I've had 2 heart surgeries. I had a heart surgery in August and a heart surgery in November. Right now we have a heart monitor on to kind of make sure, how I react to intense play and stuff like that. Make sure that my heart rhythm is back in steady sinus rhythm. But it felt good. Everything felt great, and I mean, it's the best outcome of a rough situation. So I can't ask for anything better.
It's cool to see you wear the little thing. It reminds me of Will Kraft and his
the Iron Man.
I love it. Dude, it's great to see you back healthy. I know you had a tough second half of last year. You look great. Your team looks great, and good work. Keep it up.
Thank you, Rob. It's a pleasure.
Good job. Thank you. I get a picture for Todd, man, there. Thanks, Kyle.
Thank you, Rob.
Big shout-outs to Todd Coughlin, VLA Director of Photography. Follow him at Todd J Photography. He's just the best. So that'll do it. I mean, I'm glad Kyle got on to get a chance to tell you guys what kind of he's been going through. He did in June of last year. Incredibly healthy, like 29, 30-year-old, had a stroke. And he's come back from that with a couple heart surgeries to play 6 months later at the VLA level. It's actually incredible. So a huge credit to him and his Icemen teammates for taking care of business today. I think they look great. They look like the high-level Icemen team that we've become used to seeing. But Sweed is not done for the day, and neither is Team Pineapple. So we'll be back at 4 p.m. with yet another match between those two teams. Sweed actually at this event last year beat Team Pineapple in regular season play, even when they were a Tier 2 team, for the first time in their history, and they kind of never looked back from there. So I know that was a big one in Sweed program's history. See if they can repeat that this afternoon. So done for right now. Got about an hour and a half break. We'll be back just before 4 p.m. Eastern time with more VLA Volleyball. Thanks for being a YouTube channel member. Members only streams the rest of the way. Make sure you go to the community tab of the VLA YouTube channel. The community tab is the best place to find members only streams. I know it's tricky because they don't show up on the homepage of the channel. There's nothing we can do about that. That's a YouTube thing, but where you can always go, we will make sure the matches when they're live are on the community tab of the YouTube channel homepage. So check that when in doubt. Otherwise, I'm Rob St. Clair. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at 4 p.m. for match 3 of the day.